Hello there, YouTube. I am PsychoYajko, and welcome back to my channel. This is PsychoYajko on WYPS-YT for YouTube. And I'm going to be bringing all y'all another podcast where I will be talking about the memories of the early 2000s, from events, to music, to movies, TV shows, video games, all that lot. Today, we will be talking about the memories of the year in particular of 2006. To start, there is a natural disaster that will be discussed that happened around April of 2006. Big thanks to the following news sources, from Al Jazeera to the European Space Agency and the Taipei Times for covering this topic. Links to the following articles will be provided in the live chat and possibly even the description of this live stream. Let me get to it right now, okay? And then we will get into some serious discussion of this particular topic. The Chinese sand and dust storm of 2006. Where we begin. This recorded weather event should be made more aware, seeing as how such an event could have a monumental effect on such a densely populated country like China. Around Monday, April 17th of 2006, the Chinese capital, Beijing, was covered by a humongous cloud of yellow dust. As was stated by meteorologists, this sandstorm would cover Beijing with at least 300,000 tons. At the meteorological station of Beijing, engineer Zhang Mingyang states that the amount that piled up overnight was as much as 20 grams per square meter. The Beijing Morning Post quoted him. Another reason why this is important is because with such an immense amount of people, one of capital's biggest hospitals, the Chaoyang Hospital, was faced with a spike of patients with breathing and respiratory problems at the hospital ward. The China Daily newspaper quoted weather forecaster Yang Keming, who would go on to say that it was definitely one of the most serious pollution days in Beijing. Small children had better stay at home during such days. According to an article from the European Space Agency, this storm has been reported as the worst in 5 years. With visibility being a problem for everyone, the Beijing Municipal Environmental Protection Department ranked the severity of the air pollution at rank 5. That's the most severe in pollution grading. The clouds of sand have even gone as far as to reach neighboring countries such as Japan and South Korea. It's even been recorded that clouds of sand from China have gone as far as to reach the United States. Environmental factors that have played a significant part on the unfolding of this event is drought and desertification, where a lot of landscapes turn into desert, dry climates, lots of sand, not that much wildlife. Desertification is what it's called. The transformation of landscapes to straight out desert. From the Chinese Meteorological Administration, Qiao Lin has stated that sandstorms are typical in northern China during the spring season, since clouds of dust usually hit there after coming in from the desert plains in neighboring country, Mongolia. Most notably, the Gobi Desert, which is in Mongolia. But with cases of drought and desertification of northwestern China, this has exacerbated the problem. To curb the disastrous factors that desertification in the storm has caused, China has resorted to replanting trees, called greenbelts. The idea is that the massive planting of trees, bushes, and huge amounts of shrubbery will trap the sand, so that the vast acres of grassland and all sorts of plants will not give any reason for the sandstorms to reoccur. The city government has also deployed more than 300 sprinklers to clean up at least 500 urban roads that cover up an area of 30 million square meters. Artificial rainmaking programs were put in place by China's Central Meteorological Bureau so that rainfall could make the clouds of sand disperse. This process, known as cloud seeding, involves using aircraft to pour a crystalline substance called silver iodide into the moisture-laden clouds. The municipal government even ordered construction companies to halt earthworks. And following news sources to this particular event have been provided in the live chat, so you can check them out for yourselves, guys. And I might even post them to the description of this chat or this live stream later on. Who knows? But they're all there for you to check out, guys, so feel free to check it out so you can get more information on this and understand what I'm talking about. I think it's a very important event for 2006 to cover. Now, and here's a satellite image too of this. As you can see this whole cloud of sand and dust from this satellite image. This picture appears courtesy of the National Aeronautics Space Administration. And this is something to also show with you guys, to give you guys a glimpse of the sandstorm that happened in this year. Now, let's go on to music. Let's talk about some of the things that have unfolded. Oh, before I go on to music, my source for some of these tidbits is this book called History at a Glance from Amy Briggs, executive editor for the National Geographic History Society. This particular book, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this book here, you can't see it, but History at a Glance. But this is the book I used for some of these various tidbits, which I'm going to be going into before I get into the music. Okay. So let's talk about something else. Let's see. Twitter was first launched in 2006 by Jack Dorsey. He went out to send out the first post, and it's now been known as X in this day and age, and was bought out by Elon Musk. During midterm elections, 2 years after George Bush won his second term during the presidential election of 2004, the Democrats took control of both the House of Representatives and the Senate in the government's legislative branch, which is run by, in this case, the Congress. Okay? And around that same year, former president of Liberia, Charles Taylor, was arrested for war crimes. The Japanese parliament has approved the creation of a defense military, the first since World War II. And in Chile, Social Democrat Michelle Bachelet won, therefore becoming the country's very first female president. And in 2006, a Turkish writer, Orhan Pamuk, won the Nobel Prize in Literature. Now let's go on to talk about some of the music this year. Some good listenable songs that I might add. Crazy by Gnarls Barkley. This is one of my favorites. I've heard this on the radio time and again. I really like how the music video for this, I'll send you a link to this song in the description so you guys can check it out. I really like the fact that this music video almost looks a lot like an animated Rorschach. I thought that was really cool, putting that in there. What's next? The Sweet Escape by Gwen Stefani. That one I like as well. Life is a Highway by Rascal Flatts. I heard that one in the 2006 movie called Cars, which came out in the exact same year as this particular song. This song plays when Lightning McQueen is on his way to the Los Angeles International Speedway of California, where he will be competing against his two rivals in the race, Chick Hicks and Dinoco King Strip Weathers. What other songs came out in this year? What Goes Around Comes Around by Justin Timberlake. Another one I like, which I've heard on the radio before when it came out in this year. Good one there too. And what else is there? Another track I admire. Yeah, it's one of the songs that plays on Justin Timberlake's CD album called Future Sex and Love Sounds. Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake, which was also featured on the same playlist as the song What Goes Around Comes Around, also from Future Sex and Love Sounds. And My Love by Justin Timberlake, also from the exact same playlist. Promiscuous by Nelly Furtado, featuring Timbaland. That's another good one that I like. I'm going to send you a link to that right here, guys. Glamorous by Fergie, featuring Ludacris. Ludacris is a featured rapper who also did a collaboration with Justin Bieber in his one song called Baby. Ludacris collabed with him on that. Ludacris would even go as far as to do a collaboration with Mary J. Blige on her one song called Grown Woman, which was featured on her 2007 album called Growing Pains. But we will get more into that in 2007, seeing as how that's a story for another day. London Bridge by Fergie, also from, Fergie. Another song I like there too. Say It Right by Nelly Furtado. Link provided to that song right now. And It's Going Down by Young Jock. This particular rap song I like because I remember hearing it in the movie called Norbit from 2007 with Eddie Murphy doing more than one role, like he did in Nutty Professor. But that too is a story for another day. Now let's get on to some of the TV series that came out in this year. Black Lagoon, which I had finished the series of a month ago, the story of a gang of outlaws or pirates called the Lagoon Company, comprised of a black guy named Dutch, who was basically the head honcho of the group, and a former veteran from the Vietnam War, who has a little bit more muscle than Revy. And talking of which, Revy, She's an American with Chinese lineage and a passion for shooting her twin Beretta pistols, a very trigger-happy personality, a rough childhood, and overall just a very highly desensitized killing machine with no moral compass whatsoever. Hacker Benny, who studied computer programming in Florida, who just so happens to be a Jew. And Rock, the Japanese businessman who gets snagged by the pirates, who develops a case of Stockholm Syndrome by his captors. Ruby Gloom from the exact same year. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which I didn't discover until 2008, but yeah. Horseland, and Handy Manny, which from my recollection is basically just an off-brand Bob the Builder with talking tools and the main character, Manny, whose native language is Spanish. His next-door neighbors are candy shop owner Mr. Lopart, who was such a klutz half the time. He was voiced by Tom Kenny, who did the voice of SpongeBob, and Kelly, the hardware store owner. Now let's talk about some of the movies from this time frame. Ice Age 2, The Meltdown, with main character named Manfred, the Mammoth, who is often referred to by his nickname, Manny. He was voiced by Ray Romano from the sitcom Everybody Loves Raymond. He falls in love with another mammoth named Ellie, who was voiced by Queen Latifah. Stranger Than Fiction, who also has Queen Latifah playing one of the characters named Penny Escher. Will Ferrell is in this movie, Stranger Than Fiction as well, along with Tony Hale, Linda Hunt, and Tom Hulce, who play significantly minor roles in this movie compared to some of the other actors. Dustin Hoffman was also in Stranger Than Fiction movie. I too remember him from Rain Man, another good movie. Maggie Gyllenhaal is in it, and so is Emma Thompson, the English actress who played Professor Trelawney in the Harry Potter movies. A hysterical Jack Black movie called Nacho Libre, where Nacho was raised in a Mexican orphanage and he becomes a luchador to help the orphanage, and he uses the money to buy fresh ingredients to make salads for the kids at the orphanage to cheer them up. Flushed Away, a 2006 collaboration from DreamWorks Animation and Aardman Studios, the clay studio that was responsible for Chicken Run, a box office hit that first debuted in 2000, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, which was also released by Aardman with help from DreamWorks back in 2005. Flushed Away features the voice acting talent of Kate Winslet, who did the voice of main character Rita. Kate Winslet is also known for her role as main character Rose in James Cameron's Titanic movie. Then you have Cars, a 2006 motion picture film with Owen Wilson, who did the voice of Lightning McQueen, a full of himself, egotistical race car driver who learns about the importance of humbleness and humility and how friendship can get someone very far in life. Owen Wilson was also in the Night at the Museum movie, along with actors Ben Stiller, Dick Van Dyke, Mickey Rooney, and Robin Williams. Ben Stiller also was in the Zoolander movie from 2001, not to mention Owen Wilson. Ben Stiller's dad, Jerry Stiller, was also too in the Zoolander movie. You might remember him from the sitcom called The King of Queens. Jerry Stiller was in that too. Everyone's Hero also features the voice of Robin Williams, like Night at the Museum. He played one of the antagonists in that movie, Chicago Cubs owner Mr. Napoleon Cross, who was voiced by Robin Williams. Little Man, with the acting talents of the Wayans brothers, Marlon and Sean, also featuring the acting talents of Tracy Morgan, John Witherspoon, and I think Molly Shannon was in the movie Little Man too. Let's not forget Molly Shannon. I think she appeared in that movie too. And you have Over the Hedge, another CGI film produced by DreamWorks. The main character in this movie is called RJ. He's a raccoon, and he was voiced by Bruce Willis. Steve Carell plays Hammy the Squirrel, an energetic little guy, I might add. Vern the Tortoise was voiced by Gary Shandling. Nick Nolte, who played the villain, a bear called Vincent. And yeah. Now let's talk about video games. Yeah, good choice in movies. Yeah. Now let's go on to video games of this year. A pretty good variety. Some of these games I have not played before, like I haven't played Saints Row as much. I've definitely not played Mortal Kombat Armageddon, nor have I played Gears of War. And I played a little bit of Superman Returns, but yeah, let's get into some of these topics. Bully is a good one. Probably one of Rockstar's Golden Goose games. This game is what I consider to be more of a PG-13 alternative to the Grand Theft Auto video games, which were also produced by Rockstar. Another super cool game from that year is called Prey from 2006. It's a first-person shooter video game with main protagonist called Tommy, or so his nickname is. He's referred to. His real name is Domasi Tawodi. He, his grandfather Anisi, and his lady friend Jen are all at a dive bar in rural Oklahoma. They're abducted by aliens. Tommy is now in outer space, and he has to stop the aliens from making humans become their prey, because they're harvesting on humans for food, hence the title of this game. Sonic the Hedgehog, which is no doubt a bad game. I'd say personally it's in the mix for reasons. Why I like this game is the character design, especially of the video game's antagonist, Mephiles the Dark. The soundtrack is definitely good too. I really like the eerie and sinister piano theme that plays for Mephiles, his theme song, and how the piano it sounds very sinister and dark and just overall very sinister. I really like it. I like the design of the environments and the color palette that was used for them. Now, the game mechanics are quite iffy. The concept of trying to make Princess Elise and Sonic develop some sort of romantic relationship it seems a little bit awkward. And that one scene where Elise and Sonic were laughing, that god-awful Sonic laugh, I legit had an aneurysm when I heard that. Not that the video game productions have to be perfect, but come on, man. Now, Marble Blast Ultra. I grew up with a demo, which I'd say is fair enough. I played it several times on the Xbox Live Arcade disc. I really liked how Garage Games and the Torque Shader engine were used for the production of Marble Blast. Torque Shader engine was the one that was responsible for the game's color palettes and the color schemes, but overall it was created by Garage Games, the company that has changed the way that games are made and played. And then you have Superman Returns, which came out in 2006, Gears of War, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and Saints Row. Some of these games, again, I have not played yet, just to clarify, not to mention a couple of the TV series that I have mentioned from this time frame, but I made sure to include them just to make sure that I have included adequate amount of information in this stream regarding the year of 2006. The events, the movies, TV series, video games, music, all that lot. Now, this is the part where I invite people onto the stream to talk about memories that they remember from this year. I sent links to people in the private chat. Yeah, Handy Manny. Like I mentioned before, AC Walker, Handy Manny is basically, I consider, the off-brand Bob the Builder, with Manny, whose native language is Spanish. That's all it is, from my recollection of it, at least. Maybe. Yeah. But this is the part where I invite people onto the stream. So come on, guys. What are you waiting for? Feel free to hop on, share your memories of the early 2000s, and here's where I will invite people. I sent the link to you guys via Instagram, Discord, and all that lot. I don't know how many times I have to send the stream link, so... It's news to me that the Xbox 360 actually came out in 2005, not 2006. But yeah, I should mention the Xbox 360 came out in 2005. And hey, look who it is. Yo, AC Walker, what's up with you? How you been, man?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much, really. I'm glad that it's spring. I took the time to put the stream together, let people share their memories of 2006. But yeah, what do you remember from 2006 in particular?
Do
you remember some of these movies?
Shit, I was watching I was watching that movie Cars, and And I definitely remember watching the Kids Next Door growing up.
Right. Trying to think.
You never seen it before?
Oh wait, what? Say the name of the movie again.
I was saying, like, you never see the Codename Kids Next Door?
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, Codename Kids Next Door.
That was actually one of my favorite shows. When I was running the action paint movie.
Right. I remember some of the pop culture references that Codename Kids Next Door had made. There was one of the characters saying to him, "Use the stoop." It's a Star Wars reference to Episode 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the pop culture reference. They made a Star Wars reference in that. I remember that. But you remember all these movies? Some of them, at least? I mean, Little Man. I like the scene where...
Yeah, with
the Wayans brothers.
David Wayans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The White Chicks movie. Or movie, I should say.
Oh, yeah, White Cheeks.
I really like the scene where he was sneaking his breakfast, the old guy's breakfast. He popped the griddle cakes in his mouth like candy. He was like... he was reading the newspaper and he didn't notice until it was too late. Wow, Dad, you really cleaned your plate. What? That hobgoblin ate my breakfast. Huh?
Shit. That was funny though. I ain't gonna lie.
Me personally, remember the scene where they were in the car? Percy was introducing to Cal his very first single called Butcher Shop. It was supposed to be like a parody of the song Candy Shop by 50 Cent. But personally, I would have liked to hear the full version of it to see how it all went out. It would have been like Weird Al Yankovic 2.0, because Weird Al is known for doing parodies of songs that were already written.
Right.
Yo, never
and
been shot
and the
before.
things that were shit, right. And the things that about the guy who is in the dance floor, he was he was really out there trying to get some.
Right, yeah. There was another scene. There was a scene where there was a dog, and there was that dog in the one scene. The little man, he was like telling him not to do something. He's like, "Hey, get away from there, or I'll feed you some chocolate."
Oh, damn.
That's kind of dark because obviously dogs cannot eat chocolate because it can kill them. Not good for their bodies.
Right.
Yep. Oh gosh.
That would definitely. God damn.
Oh,
that would definitely take him out that instance.
Yeah. Oh, remember Night at the Museum? Yeah, you said you've seen it before, right?
Oh yeah, I remember watching that shit when I was in the middle school.
Yeah, that's a funny movie. One of my favorite scenes was when the Huns were chasing Larry Daly. They were trying to chase him. They were trying to get through the elevator door, but they couldn't get in time. He was like trying to wedge his body through the closing doors of the elevator, but his head slammed through the door, and it closes. And
I remember seeing somebody hit their head with.
Right.
I remember seeing somebody hit their head with it in the door with the door closed. I was trying to hold it in, but
I'm trying to think of another scene from that movie. Oh, the monkey urinates on him while he's locking the door to the cage. Gosh, what was in the... Oh, number 1, throw the bone. Number 2, lock up the lions or they'll eat you. Number 3, double check your belt. The monkey probably stole your keys.
Damn.
Yeah, that was from the list of instructions that a Cecil gave him when watching over the museum at night. Because every time because at night everyone comes to life. But yeah, that's the whole premise of the movie. And if you haven't seen, and if you haven't seen Everyone's Hero, I'm not expecting you to, because it was like a very niche kind of production. The CGI in it was kind of poor, the very poor color palettes, the character design, but it did have a really good set of cast members. Like it happened to feature Whoopi Goldberg back when she was in her prime. I remember her from the Very Merry Muppets Christmas movie, which came out in 2002. She appeared in Sesame Street a couple of times, that I remember. And Whoopi Goldberg did the voice of the bat in this movie. Her name is Darlin. That bat right there, she was voiced by Whoopi Goldberg. And yeah, you got to have seen Over the Hedge.
I did not know that.
Yeah, now you do. Now, have you seen Over the Hedge before? Over the Hedge.
Oh, Over the Hedge?
Yeah, that movie. Skunk!
Damn. that look like yo, that definitely looked like a summertime cookout, and these four just came out of the bushes out of nowhere.
Right, yeah. Well, the whole premise of this movie is that their natural habitat has been urbanized. So RJ is trying to convince them to get all these snacks, all this food, because he's being blackmailed by this bear. This bear is threatening him. He's got like 1 whole week to get all the food supplies back that RJ's took from him. And if he doesn't do it in time, then the bear will eat him and kill him. That's the whole premise of this movie.
Oh, so the bear was the antagonist, right?
Yeah, the bear. Yeah, he's the villain in this movie. You can see that raccoon RJ. He has to convince all these other animals to help him get all this food because he's trying to restock all the things that he took from that bear, who's the villain.
Damn. But that picture, though, the one on the right, it's definitely giving the Ed and Eddie vibe.
Right. Now, have you seen?
You know what I'm talking about? Like when Ed and Eddie first came in, and they got that episode where they got a cookout, and then they got a cookout, and everybody was partying to the music.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Very good. Very cool. Have you seen some of these movies? Have you seen Ice Age: The Meltdown?
Ice Age: The Meltdown?
Yeah, that's the one where Manfred, he falls in love with Ellie.
I think I might have seen it somewhere.
That's the one where they have like all these geysers.
Probably back when I was at my grandma's house at the time.
Right. There was a scene in that one movie where like I'm trying to think, Sid the sloth, he was doing something very risky where he was like going to get himself killed or whatever, and then Manny tells him not to do it, and he's like, hey, this is the only way I'm going to get respect. And he says to him, the only respect you're ever going to get is respect of the dead. Remember that scene?
Damn.
And I remember the geyser scene in that movie where they were all like trying to get away from those geysers, like those big pots of steaming water that's like steaming out. And there's this one movie too called oh gosh, I don't know what happened. I'm sure you probably have not seen Stranger Than Fiction, right? But that's a good Will Ferrell movie to look into. What this particular movie does is that it really does have a way of you kind of sort of being accustomed to, let me try to word this. Will Ferrell is known for having a reputation of being in a lot of comedy movies. But this movie, Stranger Than Fiction, it's more of a tragic comedy rather than like an actual comedy. It has a scene of some dramatic elements in it too, rather than some more than comedy. But it's pretty funny in some scenes, and a little bit more dramatic.
Yeah,
rather
kind of
than
like
comedy.
kind of like the one with Adam Sandler when he was going when he was going through the when he was going with the time traveling. Well,
Right.
not really like a time travel, but more like time controlling with the remote.
Mm-hmm. Right. I don't know if I've seen that one yet, but I think that might have came out in this year. Are you talking about the one with the remote? The Adam Sandler movie with the remote?
Yeah.
Oh, that one I don't think I've seen yet. I think that might have come out this year. I don't know. Let me see if I can find that. So let me see if it came out this year. Oh yeah, the movie is called it's called Click, right? It's a PG-13 movie. This movie. Let me share the screen.
Right. Yeah, that movie Click.
Oh yeah, that movie came out in 2006. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right. Have you seen Nacho Libre too? Nacho Libre?
And that look guy, Kevin. He had he had the nerve to try to bully the kid that did nothing to his punk ass. And so what Ando did was pressing the button, like pressing the pause button, and and he made him and he made the bully hit himself. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny.
That kind of reminds me of something funny that also happened in this movie, Nacho Libre 2. There was a scene where a kid approached a luchador named Silencio, and then that one guy, Esquilito, he just ran over his foot because he was bullying the kid, harassing him, or whatever. He just ran over his foot, and he stubbed his toe really, really bad.
Damn.
Watching
Nacho Libre? Shit, it kind of like lucha type of thing. Because I remember watching mucho lucha when I was in elementary through middle school at the time. And I was playing the Delta Force game, which was Delta Force Black Hawk Down.
Oh, you're talking about Mucha Lucha, the cartoon series about the luchadors, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that came out in 2002. It premiered on the Kids WB. Yeah, this show. Yeah, that junk came out in
2002.
Yeah, I was like at least a year old when this series came out. And I remember from that exact same year, trying to think, Linkin Park's Reanimation album came out in that same year. Reanimation, that was one of Linkin Park's albums that came out, and it came out in 2002. It's basically a remix to Hybrid Theory, the songs that were previously released on their 2000 album, Hybrid Theory. But for the longest time, Reanimation has been my go-to album by Linkin Park.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh. I'm sure you've heard of some
You said how old you were when it came out?
Yeah, I was like at least a year old when Reanimation came out, and Lucha Lucha, or Mucha Lucha, I should say. And yeah, you have to look into Black Lagoon. That's a
Yeah.
good one. Have you heard of this? Are you into anime at all?
Yeah, I did see the clips. I did see the clips that's showing here and there about the time when one of the characters that was on the Diva time. But I didn't watch the whole entire thing.
Are you talking about Black Lagoon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember the scene.
I did watch.
Yeah, there's another scene I remember from that show. There was a part where all of them were on the boat or whatever. They were like killing all these neo-Nazis, and Dutch was like, they got the uniforms, but that's about it.
Yeah. And when I saw that when I saw that GIF picture of that girl reloading,
oh yeah,
I was thinking to myself, like, how did he know it?
Right.
Yeah, the one that I posted the reloaded video.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how did PsychoYajko even find that?
Oh right, the one that previous live stream that you were just on, the one that I commented on.
Oh yeah. I mean, hell, no one ever commented about hell. Nobody else ever commented on the videos that I posted on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, if I ever saw,
I was like, where in the hell are they?
I know. And if I saw that person in real life, I probably would have just proceeded to back away from that thing, like as if my block just got gentrified or something.
Right.
Talk about wide load with a defunct pituitary gland, I tell you.
Yeah, and this was the video when I was and this was the video when I was thinking about wanting to make my own modification game.
Mm-hmm.
Which is Joint Operations Epidemical Warfare. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's kind of like,
and this is a video game, right?
It's kind of like it's definitely a video game. But what I'm trying to do is trying to make it universal.
Mm-hmm.
As far as with the voice lines and everything.
Right. Just curious, have you played
and the sound effects?
Right. Oh yeah, that's the one I think I commented on too, right?
Right.
Right. Okay.
The one that was screaming out, reloading. When
right.
things getting really tense, and if there's too many zombies, running every place to the point it's like there's too many of them, and the survivors they're about to get overrun.
Right. I would have done the same. Missile launcher, flamethrower, anything you could. I personally would have preferred Revy's two Beretta pistols, like the main character Revy from Black Lagoon. I'll show you in a moment. But yeah, before we do, let's go into some of the. You've played some of these video games before. Have you played Bully before?
I've never played that. I never played that game before, but I did. But I did watch. But I did watch the videos of it though.
Right. Yeah. I'd say that's probably like such a cool game in its own way. I
Like,
definitely consider
I did watch the first. I did watch three clips here, and I did watch three clips of this game here and there, but I never actually got into the bully game.
Right. But I did like it, or I still do like it. I might play it again if I ever do get the chance. But yeah, Bully is like one of those games I consider, I said this before and I'll say it again, I consider it basically a PG-13 alternative to the Grand Theft Auto video games. And it's got definitely such a...
Right.
And it has this like very great storyline. Here you have this main character here, Jimmy Hopkins, a juvenile delinquent who gets sent to a crappy prep school called Bulworth Academy. He sees that it's filled with people who have been acting just like the way he has, and then it pretty much opens up his eyes, and then he sees the error of his ways, and he tries to help people out. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like got that storyline to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those movies, or like you have a main character in a movie who's flawed. He finds out the error of his ways in some way, shape, or form, and then he uses that to he or she tries to use that to turn it around to the better. Like in this case, Jimmy. He's had a history of the following: vandalism, graffiti, bad language, violent conduct, disrespecting authority, and then he goes to Bulworth, sees that it's a very crappy environment, bunch of delinquents. It opens up his eyes and it makes him see the error of his ways. You know what I'm saying? That kind of storyline.
Yeah. Shit. and the thing is that when I was in middle school, I never did any of those things like that.
Oh, I haven't either. No.
Because I went in.
Neither did I. I wasn't about that life in school.
I was in. Hell no. I mean, in real life, nobody likes bullies.
No.
You know what I mean? Because somebody push you to the kingdom around like that, and if they say some fucked up ass shit, I'd be like, what? Oh hell no!
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I get to check people. Like, what's the wish of mine? Swole neck gang nigga mine, swole cheek gang nigga mine, beat cheek gang nigga mine. What's your wish of mine?
Mm-hmm. Right. And there's some other games I have to talk about too. I haven't had the chance to talk about this. Right.
You know what I mean? Because I know you saw the video when I was going in on Gorla the other night when he was in the stage filled with shit. I can't even talk right now. The stage where it was filled with real ladies that was out there doing the thing on the stage, on the event.
Oh yeah, I mean I have limits, believe it or not, when it comes to bullying. But if I saw that, boy, you're not going to be in the show. No, that's horrible. It's disgusting. It's not appealing. I'm sorry.
Right, and he should have. And you're right about that. He should have. Hell, he should have covered his rolls over there about this bitch. Cause ain't nobody want to see all of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not appealing.
Hell, it ain't appealing to me either.
Made me want to take a whole thing of turpentine and pour that over my corneas or some shit.
Shit,
turpentine.
or probably like go ahead to edit this shit out and put some other photos in there.
Right. Oh, and just curious, have you played some of these games before besides just Bully? Remember Prey from 2006? Probably not, huh?
Right?
Prey from 2006. This game here. It's a first-person shooter video game. I'll show you some pictures of it if I can. This video game here. It's a first-person shooter game. It takes place in outer space. You have the main character, Domasi Tawodi. He's also referred to by his nickname as Tommy. He's a Cherokee. And his grandfather, and his girlfriend, they all get abducted by aliens. They're in outer space. The aliens are using humans for their food source. They're basically making humans their prey, hence the title of this video game. And the main character, Tommy, has to be the hero and stop all of humankind from becoming the prey of these aliens that are using humans for their food source.
Oh, kind of like Dead Space before it even came out.
Right. I guess you could say that. I haven't played Dead Space before, but this game is fun, from my recollection. A very fun game. You have this weird variety of weapons, all these character designs. It's just, it was about, I think the name of the studio that made that game, called Human Head, they were planning on making that like a sequel, but it got scrapped in the process. I think it was supposed to, like, the sequel was supposed to come out in 2012 or whatever, and it didn't become a reality, unfortunately.
Damn.
Right. It should have been a sequel, because I would have liked to see what would have happened in the game next, but it wasn't a reality, unfortunately.
Right. And it was also giving the Unreal Tournament vibe.
Mm-hmm. Right. And if you've ever been,
I mean, as far as with the designs,
mm-hmm.
it was kind of like it's Unreal Tournament mixed with Dead Space before it even came out.
Right, Dead Space. I gotta check out the synopsis of that since you mentioned that. Dead Space. It's a 2023 survival horror game developed by Motive Studio and published by Electronic Arts, a remake of the 2008 game of the same name, developed by EA Redwood Shores. Sure, definitely seems like it. Wow, damn. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, if you've ever been around in 2006, I'm sure you remember this horrible production of a game, Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, I'd say it's personally in the mix, but it was such a major swing and a miss. Some of the, like I mentioned before, the things that I really didn't like was how they tried to take the main character Sonic and how they tried to make it seem like sort of like a romantic relationship between him and Princess Elise. And there was that one scene where remember the scene where the two of them were laughing? Sonic, he just had that really cringy laugh. It just made me feel like I was having an aneurysm. He was like, oh my God, man. Like, come on. Gosh.
It's like, seriously?
Right. I mean, I know that every video game has to have its flaws, but come on, man. Like, that laugh.
Like, come on, mine.
Come on, mine. Right, yeah.
Like you know how people in Memphis saying mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come on, mine.
Yeah. Or it's how Joe Biden would say it. Like, come on, man. And yeah, don't you remember Gears of War? I haven't played that yet, but have you played that before?
But I remember seeing it. I seen it on. I remember seeing it on the videos, and I seen it on the books too.
Mm-hmm. Right. And
But I never actually went there and played that game before.
right. Now, have you played Superman Returns?
Nah, I never played that game before. But I did watch Superman when I was little.
Right. But yeah, it was a video game, Superman Returns. Yeah. I'll admit, I did play it like maybe once or twice, but the very first boss stage or second boss stage, I was like, that's it, I'm done. It was way too frustrating. I remember when I played the demo of it, the one thing I liked to do was just take a bunch of billboards, cars, and everything, just toss them in the air, throw things. That was like my favorite thing I like to do. And then use my laser eye powers to destroy cars and crap and just be a nuisance. That was what I like to do in the demo version. Like if Lex Luthor basically had superpowers.
Yeah, but don't be a nuisance like Johnny Somali around this bitch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And remember any of these songs too? Sweet Escape by Gwen Stefani featuring Ekhan.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh, and
it was the one that Ekhan was like, woo, yeah,
yeah, that's the song I'm talking about. Right.
Yeah.
And the lyrics goes, because I've been acting like sour milk, fell on the floor. It's your fault you didn't shut the refrigerator. Maybe that's the reason I've been acting so cold. Oh, and
right. Damn.
Yeah, and Life is a Highway by Rascal Flatts. You know that song? I mean,
it's a highway?
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen the movie Cars, you can watch Cars and then not think of that song. That's like the song that's like the
I think I might have heard of this before.
Yeah, I sent the link to it in the live chat, so you can check it out for yourself.
Yeah. I was shit. I mean, I heard it before. I mean, I heard that song before, but I was trying to calculate what it was.
Life is a highway. I want to ride it all night long. Ring a bell?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And
in London.
I meant to say recalculate.
Right. Well, London Bridge by Fergie?
Huh?
London Bridge by Fergie? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh yeah!
Yeah, that song.
I heard that sound before.
Right. There's another song. It's Going Down by Young Jock.
Oh yeah, definitely remember that.
It's
going down. Hit me in the ball. It's going down. Hit me in the good. It's going down.
Yeah, that song. Meet me in the club. It's going down. Anywhere you meet me, guaranteed to go down.
Damn.
That song was also. That song was in Norbit, I should point out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Remember the scene where Rasputia was dumping a whole thing of salt on her pizza? You're like, where Norbit? I don't know, Norbit. He's out in the woods, draining the swamp, like I said. I don't know.
Shit,
he's in the woods.
Shit,
and I don't know. And she was dumping the salt on the pizza as the song was playing. She just took a whole slice of pizza
and
just dumped it. On pizza, salt on pizza.
It's a meat beat. Yeah. Oh, and the group that was called them Franchise Boys.
Mm-hmm.
The one that did that lean with it, rock with it.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, that was a song that was the song what I was listening to when I was in middle school.
Right.
Lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. And then Monica came into the song with her song every time the beat drop.
Remember the song Crazy by Gnarls Barkley?
I think I might have heard it somewhere before.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so special about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without caring that I was out of touch, wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much.
Yeah. And when 3 6 Mafia came out with the song "Pop My Collar,"
yeah,
it was like ever since I can remember, pop my collar, pop my collar, pop my collar. Ever since I can remember, look at these those.
Mm-hmm. Remember the song? I sent the link to the song to you once again. This is like the music video, the actual music video. I thought I should include it in there because I really like how the music video looks a lot like an animated Rorschach. It's a very, very cool feat. Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, and I gotta present to you like a Little Man quote from the movie Little Man. Yeah, never been shot before, but I beat about the skull and neck area with a crowbar. Check the lyrics. I take it to the butcher shop. Let you lick the big pork or chop. Girl, I know you like ham hocks. If you're Jewish, I even got locks. Hey. Yo,
hey.
That's 50 Cent. Cal, that's not 50 Cent. He talk about candy. I'm talking about me. That's a whole other level. P-Unit.
Hey, G-Unit.
P-Unit. Because the character's name is Percy.
G-Unit. I hear something really about to get that ass stomped. What? Watch I keep the club crunk. I'm gonna make a stomp. We ain't playing who the funk. Get that ass stomped. Doing like the dirty South boys do it strong. Now where your phone? Who the boss? I'm gonna break them out. Where your phone? Who the boss? Let me break them out.
Interscope Records. Shady Aftermath.
Hell yeah.
And don't worry about that Detox album.
Tough Dirty Dozen.
Detox. I think it was a Dr. Dre album, which came out around, I want to say 2006. Apparently didn't come out. Oh yeah, when talking about some of this more serious stuff, I'm pretty sure you haven't heard of the Chinese sandstorm of 2006, right? Probably not, because it happened, again, it was like way overseas, not something that was really like a significant part of 2006, at least here in the United States. I mean, in my previous live stream, that
shit right there had never brought them. Well, I did see something about it, but it never brought my attention.
But yeah, it was pretty serious stuff. I mean, especially for the Chinese. I mean, like a year before 2006, like we had Hurricane Katrina, which slammed New Orleans. That was like the natural disaster that shook us horribly. And then a year later, you have the Chinese sandstorm of 2006. And you can see the satellite image, this cloud of dust. I'm going to zoom up so you can get a clear image. Look at that huge cloud of dust. That was taken by satellite. You can see it sweeping through China to like one of the peninsulas.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that little part right there. That's like, even went as far as to reach South Korea and even as far as Japan. That's how bad the storm was.
Damn.
According to meteorologists, the tons of sand that was covering all of Beijing, it was up to about 300,000 tons. 300,000 tons. And over 100 million Chinese and over 100 million Chinese were affected by the sandstorm. 100 million.
Shit.
Yeah, that's how bad the storm was.
I thought, hell.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the people in the country somewhere in Pakistan had that bad sandstorm.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's pretty typical for China too. You know, like I've said this before, and I'll say it again: sandstorms are not common in China. Meteorologists have actually stated that sandstorms are actually typical during the spring season in northern China. But the problem is that there's a lot of parts of China that are becoming desertified. Like a lot of the natural landscapes are turning into deserts where there's not a lot of life. There's a lot of sand. So that's why a lot of sandstorms have gotten worse throughout China. You know, it exacerbates the problem, making sandstorms hit not so far as South Korea or Japan or just China in general, but some of the sandstorms have actually went as far as to reach all across the coast to the United States.
Shit, glad it didn't hit Indonesia like that.
Yeah, but think of this. This
hell,
whole thing,
Indonesia.
Yeah, but take that into perspective.
I see it.
Yeah, this here is China. That right there is Mongolia. That right there is the Gobi Desert. That is where some of the sand, that's where some of the sand that originated went into China. And you even have this whole part of Xinjiang. You see that whole tan layer? That's the desert. That's one of these major factors that have caused this horrible sandstorm to occur. Now take that in perspective.
Damn.
Lots of desertification, and then that's how 300,000 grams of sand, tons of sand, affected all of China.
Shit.
And this is the capital, Beijing, that was affected. Meteorologists have stated that the severity of it was at rank 5. That's the most severe in pollution grading, according to the Beijing Municipal Environmental Protection Department.
Why?
And for obvious reasons, it was so bad that people couldn't even go outside.
Hell, nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, nobody could even go out. Hell, nobody could even go outside at it at the time.
Right, yeah. And think about it. Beijing, or China in general, is so densely populated that because of this sandstorm, one of the hospitals, the Chaoyang Hospital, was faced with a significant spike of patients with breathing problems at the respiratory ward. That's how bad the storm was. But there have been some ways that the Chinese government have tried to curb this problem. I've mentioned before, the Chinese government has been using this tactic called, what was it called? Grass belts, or just belts in general. Yeah, green belts. That's what it's called. China resorts to replanting trees called green belts because with the idea of these green belts, the massive planting of trees, bushes, and huge amounts of shrubbery, it will trap the sand so that the acres of grassland and all sorts of plants will not give any reason for the sandstorms to reoccur. Because think about it, if you want sandstorms to reoccur, you need lots and lots of sandy places like deserts. But with green belts, the Chinese government is planting vast amounts of trees and bushes so that way they can lessen the amounts of deserts that are causing these sandstorms to spread all across China.
Yeah.
Because desertification.
Hold on. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I gotta take a call.
Oh, no problem. Take your time. How many people actually like my stream? That's what I'm wondering. You have the Gobi Desert. Oh, so far only one like. Oh, for those of you guys who are still watching, I had someone who was supposed to be approaching or supposed to be coming in. The person's name is Natalie Anderson, but she's out with her family, so she couldn't come in, unfortunately. Which I guess is not really a big deal.
Sorry about that. But you were saying about
planting huge amounts of trees and grassland and shrubbery called green belts. This is meant to alleviate the chances of a sandstorm reoccurring. Because if you need sandstorms, you need a lot of dry climates, a lot of desert, a lot of sand and everything. Because that's one of the reasons why these sandstorms keep happening. So with green belts, you have a lot of shrubs, a lot of trees, so that way people don't have to have any reason to think that a sandstorm is going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And another thing that the Chinese government has been resorting to, meteorological companies in China, they use a tactic called cloud seeding, I think it's called, or whatever it's called. But what the Chinese government does, what these meteorologists do, they use airplanes, right? They fly them into the sky and they pour particles of silver iodide. It's a crystalline substance that is mixed with moisture-laden clouds to produce rain. It works up to a point, but only, of course, if the clouds are there to start with. You can't use silver iodide unless you have moisture-laden clouds to allow the rain to occur. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not entirely useless. I mean, it is pretty pointless unless you have clouds, but it is a major Kickstarter to making sure that you have rain to get rid of all the sand that's in the sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see. I was trying to figure out what place that would. I was trying to figure out what place did they have having a sandstorm. I know that the movie Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol had came out and the sandstorm was going on.
Mission Impossible. Oh yeah, the ghost from Mission Impossible Sandstorm Ghost Protocol.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, Tom Cruise. Can't go wrong with Tom Cruise in a Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, nah. But what I was trying to figure out is about the location that they have the sandstorm in it.
I really don't know. I gotta find that out. Sandstorm scene features Ethan Hunt. It was taken in February 2025 from Dubai Square at the Dubai International Finance Center, Burj Khalifa.
Yeah, Dubai.
That's the capital of the United Arab Emirates, I think. Let me check. Oh, it's a city in the United Arab Emirates. I gotta say what the capital is. Oh, the capital is Abu Dhabi. That's not Dubai's not the capital, but Dubai is a major city. And oh my God, it looks so beautiful. It's like straight out of a futuristic movie, so to speak.
Right. But the thing is with China having a sandstorm. Shit, I thought Dubai was the one that was having the sandstorm the worst.
I wouldn't be surprised because a lot of the Middle East is desert and dry climates, So that's like a perfect ingredient for sandstorms to occur. And we actually do get some sandstorms here in the United States. I will tell you that. Think about it. We have the American Southwest, a lot of dry deserts. So if you're in the American Southwest and if it's very dry,
Arizona,
Arizona or New Mexico.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I mean, in my area in South Carolina, we never had the sandstorm.
Well, that's like the Southeast. I'm pretty sure it's like pretty warm there, but you do I'm sure there's like a lot of grasslands there, like trees, forests, grassland and shrubbery. So that shouldn't give any reason.
The rivers.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, and here's an interesting piece of trivia. Did you know that sandstorms on Mars are much bigger compared to sandstorms on Earth? They're way bigger on Mars.
No, I did not.
Want to know why? Because Mars is covered in dust. In 2001, the planet Mars had an enormous sandstorm, all right? It covered the entire surface of the planet.
Damn. I did not know that.
Now you do. Because why would Mars be like a bright, glowing...
Shit. All this time when I was in elementary school, a lot of teachers were talking about the solar system.
Oh yeah.
But they never talked to me about Mars as a whole. Well, they did talk about solar system.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It was a sandstorm part it was sandstorm part that they did not tell me.
Mm-hmm. Right. Trying to think. What was that? The thing about the solar system that really devastated me, I was really fascinated as a kid by the planet of Saturn, right? That planet with all the rings around it. I was really wondering what the surface of Saturn looked like. But unfortunately, there's no point because Saturn is just a big ball of gas. There's no like rock hard solid surface like Mars does or Earth or the moon.
Right.
It's like an hour and 13 minutes. It's already been past an hour. Dang, Can't believe I talked this much with you. I mean, the thing that's a little bit devastating, I mean, not to say that I don't like having your company here, don't get me wrong, but I was expected to have like a secondary person supposed to show up, but she couldn't because she was supposed to be spending time with her family or whatever. But when it comes to live streams, I try to get up to like at least a minimum of an hour, but so far only one person. But regardless, It was great. It was great having you, AC Walker. Glad you could join here on my live stream. Talk about the 2000s, some memories, and just goof off and crap.
Yeah.
Hope to see you on my next live stream and possibly some other live streams. If you're planning on hosting on your channel, I probably might plan on joining them too. Or whoever else might be having a live stream at this time. Who knows?
See, who knows, Mike?
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, I guess that's it.
I might see you though. The reloaded videos.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I am on X. You could just send me the link there if you're ever curious or interested.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And see what's your what's your opinion about them.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, it looks like that this is it for now. Thanks all you guys for watching this stream. If you took the time, this has been PsychoYajko on WYPS-YT for YouTube, here live at Cape May, New Jersey, or so I wish. I wish I was there, but I'm not. Well, that's been it. If you guys like this live stream where I've been talking about the 2000s, drop a like, share, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and I hope to see you all in the next video or live stream. Take care, and farewell.